It's David Cinelli here.
And Julia Blinsky.
We're realtors with Royal LePage Signature, and we're continuing our segment with Ask a Young/New Realtor of things that you're learning on the job, which I still find I'm learning a lot of these too. All right, so Julia, what's today's topic?
So today's topic is going to be, having a consultation with people essentially before taking them out and showing them a bunch of properties that they're interested in.
Yeah, so this includes not just for people looking to buy or sell, but also potential tenants as well. And you also want to have a quick consultation even with landlords. So it's when you first get your license, somebody calls you up, you're like, you're ready to go, and you start showing properties, but that's not really prudent for you. You probably shouldn't be doing that, and there's a number of reasons for that. So one of the things that you what are some of the things you talk about in your pre-consultation?
Yeah, so one important question is if they have already talked to a lender. So you definitely want to make sure that they have talked to a lender and gotten their budget and what they're pre-qualified for. Essentially, that will break down a lot of the different areas they're looking at and what they can view in their budget. Well,
especially in today's market where everything is, they're in bidding wars, people are coming in clean, which means no conditions. You want to make sure you're able to afford what you're looking for. Yeah. You don't want to start driving around and then realizing afterwards you can't afford it, or you don't want to put an offer in and then have a condition of 5 days condition if you're competing against other people that already have their financing, because you could lose that home. So 100%. The other thing I always like to say is when we do our consultation is we like to tell people the cost of things. Yeah. So the land transfer tax is a big one. You have the lawyer's fees, right? If you have to pay for a home inspection, those are big ones. And the reason why we do that, we want to break everything down. We give you a pamphlet to go home with you so you can always review it. It's because if you know all the costs are associated with it, you're able to budget for that first before you jump into a car, and that way you can enjoy the experience of buying a home, right? If you don't do that, and this happened to me in the past, it's like nobody told me. It was like, well, they didn't tell me the deposit was due in 24 hours, so I had to come up with all the scramble to get this money, even though we had it in our RSPs. It takes about a week or sometimes even longer to get. It added to frustration. So those kinds of things. Or so I've heard of other people not knowing about in Toronto, you have a double land transfer tax, and you can't add that to your mortgage.
That's a big one.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
But even for tenants, I think that I always found when I was first starting out, and I had a lot of potential tenants, we would ask them for paperwork up front. Mm-hmm. And why is that? Because the landlord's like, what are they looking for? It's okay. It's good. So we always talk before when Julia joined us, we're saying, okay, before you start showing potential tenants, and this one thing, she actually brought it off camera, she was telling me all about it, but it's okay, it happens. So we talked to them, we said we want the paperwork up front, because if you're going to be on MLS and you use a realtor, the landlord wants to have all this information at their fingertips. So if you're putting an offer in, they're not going to wait 5-10 days for you to get this information. It's also a way for us to know what they're going to accept. So if you have a poor credit score, we can call some tenants, some landlords, and say, hey, by the way, I have a history of a tenant that has a poor history, but here's why they have a poor history, but they're working their way up. So that's kind of what is that what you meant to say?
Yeah, exactly that.
It's funny, these are all her topics, and we're just kind of helping play off each other. But yeah, anyway, but that's some good stuff. So yeah, always if you're using a realtor, and if you're a young realtor, have a sit down with your potential clients and talk with them. We do that all the time for listing presentations, because we want our sellers to know or even our landlords to know what we're going to do to market their home and how the home looks, and pictures, video, etc.
Yeah,
it's a good topic.
Yeah.
I talk more than you this time. All right, guys, we'll see you next time.